Okay, hi there students. Here we have another video with another dozen cooking terms, maybe a baker's dozen. Okay, the first word is to dice. To dice is to cut into small square cubes. You know where you play a game and you throw the dice? Well, to cut in the shape of a dice. So what you need to do is to dice the vegetables, cut them into squares. The next verb is to dredge. Okay, this is to cover something in a dry ingredient. For example, maybe you make a cake and it has a nice flat surface and then you dredge powdered sugar on the top. You actually have the word a sugar dredger. It's something that contains sugar to shake, yeah? But you can also coat something in some dry ingredient before you cook it. It provides a more even coating. Yeah, maybe you take your fish and you dredge it with flour. Okay, yeah, just cover with flour. Okay, to dress. Yeah, well, you dress when you get up in the morning, but you could dress a salad. Okay, to dress a salad means to put the vinaigrette or the oil and vinegar or different things on it, to put a sauce on your salad and then mix it up. That's dressing your salad. Shall I dress the salad with oil and vinegar? Notice there is another meaning as well. It means to prepare meat or fish by taking off the carcasses and cutting out the meat. Yeah, it would be to dress, to cut the best bits off and leave the bones behind. Okay, to glaze and to deglaze. Well, to glaze means you cover something in a shiny surface. For example, if you make ceramics and you put sand on the surface and heat it to a couple of 1,000 degrees centigrade, the glass melts and you get this beautiful shiny glaze on it. Well, in cooking, to glaze is you put some sort of sticky substance over something and it makes it shiny. It has this nice surface. It's to coat with some sort of sticky substance. Maybe you've roasted a piece of meat and then you glaze it with honey. You gently brush honey on the outside and the honey dries and it's got like this nice shiny surface. So to deglaze, well, it's sort of the opposite. When you cook something, particularly in the oven, when you roast it, you've got all these liquids and things dropping to the bottom. And then to deglaze is you pour water in it and you loosen all the bits that are stuck at the bottom of the pan. Or you could pour wine in it. You could deglaze with wine. Yeah, when you've got things stuck in a pan, you deglaze it by adding some sort of liquid. And it's a very good way to make a nice sauce. It's the way you make gravy. Okay, flambe. Okay, this is pure French. Flambe is where you put some alcohol on it and then you burn the alcohol. Yeah? So, crêpe Suzette, that's pancakes flambé. Yeah, they pour some alcohol on top of it, which is burning. And then the flames go out when the alcohol is burnt off or reduced significantly in concentration. Okay, fillet. This is a good question. Fillet really has two meanings. Firstly, for example, for beef or for pork, it's a round central cut that is the most tender cut of beef or pork, and it's also the most expensive. So yeah, a fillet of beef, yummy thing. But also to fillet, if you fillet a fish, you cut all the bones off and you've got a piece that's just the fish itself. Yeah, or you could fillet a chicken, cutting it in pure slices of meat. Okay, so fillet, it can have two different things. Okay, so let's try some more good words. Yes, jacquarding. Okay, to jacquard. This is to poke holes with a skewer or something in the muscles of a piece of meat to make it tender. You can also call this needling. Yeah, you bang holes in it and it makes it less tough. Okay, Julienne. This is where you cut something in very thin, long pieces. They look like matchsticks. They look very thin little pieces, and that is julienne. So I julienne the carrots, for example. Okay, to knead. Let's see, when you make bread, you take flour and you add yeast and you add a bit of water. And then you need to knead, notice the different spellings, you need to knead the dough. Yeah, it's to work something into a soft, uniform texture by stretching and pressing and folding. Yeah, so you knead your dough. Okay, the next word is lard. Well, lard is normally the fat from a pig, because normally pigs or pork has lots of fat in it. So lard, it's an ingredient, for example, to make pastry. Yeah, very often they use lard, not butter. And also you can lard a piece of meat. That means by inserting little bits of lard, of pig fat or fat, into the meat, so that it doesn't dry out while it's being cooked. And then finally, a liaison, or to liaison. Yeah, I've got a video about this word, but in a different context. Okay, this is when you want to thicken something like a soup or a sauce, and to it you can add a mixture of cream and egg yolks. The yolk is the yellow bit, and that thickens it, it makes it thicker. Yeah, so to a liaison, or to liaison, to thicken a soup with cream and egg yolk. So let me just go through them again quickly. To dice, to cut into small cubes. To dredge, to coat with a dry powdery ingredient. To dress a salad, or to cut the carcass off a piece of meat. To glaze and to deglaze. To glaze, to paint something sticky over the outside of your piece of food, and that dries and makes a nice shiny surface. And then to deglaze is to take a pan and put liquid in it, to take off any stuck or cooked bits of food that have stuck to the bottom of the pan. Flambe, to put burning alcohol in something. Okay, yeah, so he flambéed the chicken. Fillet. The fillet is the tender circular long piece of beef, but you can also fillet a fish to take just the meat and take away all the bones. Okay, to jacquarding, making holes in a piece of meat that's got lots of muscle to make it more tender. Okay, and then julienne, to cut into thin matchstick-like pieces. To knead, you knead the dough, but notice spelt with a K. You have to press and stretch. And then lard, the fat of a pig or pork fat. And you can lard a piece of meat by putting pieces of pork fat in it to stop it drying out while it's cooking. And then finally, a liaison. This is using cream and egg yolks to thicken something like a sauce or a soup or something like that. So there you go. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Cooking terms.